Welcome back to OSFirstTimer. Will Diana be able to complete tasks on Windows 10? Blindfolded? Of course, with the assistance of a program blind people use called NVDA, but trust me, this ain't gonna be easy. So here you are on the desktop of Windows 10. You wouldn't even know. I could have anything up here.
I could be anywhere too.
Blind people these days are empowered and able to use a computer. Most of them would use a program called JAWS. That's the most widely known software used to help blind people today. However, instead of that, because JAWS is quite expensive and a paid program, you're going to be using NVDA, which stands for Non-Visual Desktop Access. Now that program is open source and completely free, and you're going to be using version 2018.1.1. It's made by an Australian charity called NV Access. They help tens and thousands of blind people throughout the world access computers. In front of you is a keyboard and trackball, but from what I understand, blind people actually don't typically use a mouse or a trackball. They usually use it solely with the keyboard or braille devices, like braille keyboard or braille displays and that kind of thing, so they can better feel what's on it. Here we go. Your first task is, what time is it?
Good question. Must be midnight. It's very dark. How am I going to access this? Well, look, I'm going to go on with the mouse because I know that the time is usually down here. I'll just sort of roll it.
Tray input show desktop.
What's happening?
NVDA not selected 42 and 42.
What?
Taskbar.
I'm just trying to go as down to that corner as I can.
Now, if you remember in Windows 10, the time is actually not...
Folder view list.
Oh, maybe it's the top right-hand corner. I'm getting mixed. Because I can't see anything.
The top right-hand corner? The time is in the bottom right corner.
But I'm trying to... look.
However, at the very bottom right corner is the Show Desktop button. It's not the time, as you remember from Windows 10. So the time is usually a little bit more to the left.
Okay, so it's a bit this way.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm assuming I've gone right down to the corner.
Yeah.
Now,
Actions system clock. 11:16 p.m.
Oh.
21/05/2018.
Yes!
Yes, you got it. So
That's it.
You know what the time is.
Yeah.
So your first task, what time is it? Well, there you go. You know what the time is. Now, this just goes to show that typically a mouse isn't really going to be that helpful to a blind person. Now, just as a little example, there's some icons on the desktop. Let's say you were trying to use the mouse to find these icons. Go ahead.
Network NVDA. Notice people. Running applications.
You're kind of doing it, but it's just so hard. Visually, it's hard to understand.
So maybe I look for arrow keys or something.
So, yeah, try the arrow keys.
I'm assuming...
Those four are the arrow keys.
Somewhere here.
Yeah, those are the arrow keys.
Windows Task Manager 17 and 42.
Yep.
Hardware Trasher 18 and 42.
I don't know what this virtual machine was used for. I can't even remember. I'm sure this was probably, we're going to use it for the scammer video. It's funny because you can't see what's in front of you. No. And it's not actually, it's quite a suspicious looking, if I walked over to this computer, or most people did, people would go, oh wait, what's going on here? Because it's weird files and stuff on there. I think this was an alternative desktop I created before we created that Windows Vista one. I think this was one I started creating and I thought, now I'll scrap this, start making another one. Anyway, can you do your second task now? Can you write, save, open and delete a text document?
I wish this had voice command so I could just tell it to do that. Does it? Or
Well, blind people could technically use that.
Well, why can't I use that then?
No, because you're not going to be doing that today. You're going to be trying it with just the keyboard.
Task Manager 17 and 42. Windows Speech Recognition 60 and 40. Modified IP bounds list. Recycle bin 1 and 42.
Oh, recycle bin.
Usually, Notepad isn't typically on the desktop. So you'd usually open what to get to Notepad?
Programs.
Altered system
Which is the
files
what?
10 and 42.
I can't barely understand what he's saying. He's not talking properly.
Court evidence 11 and 42.
Everything's 42.
Proof and tampering
Because
40 and 42.
there's 42 icons. Now, if this was a normal video, where would you go to open Notepad? Would you look for a desktop icon?
Yeah, I would.
No, you wouldn't.
Well, I don't know what I would do. I'm so confused right now. But being blindfolded, I'm just confused.
If this was a normal OSFirstTimer video, you would open the Start menu. And you would type in Notepad.
And that's why I was going this way with the arrow key to try and get to the Start menu, but it just wouldn't get to it.
No, this is only going to go between the icons on the desktop. But however, there is a start button on the keyboard. You know the Windows key?
Oh, that's
Remember
somewhere
that?
up here.
No, it's not up the top. So, okay, I think the issue you've got here is that you obviously don't know Braille, and this is not a Braille keyboard. So let's make it easier for you. You are allowed to look at the keyboard and mouse. Okay,
Oh, that's
so the
better.
blindfold can be up slightly so that you
Yep.
can see the keyboard and mouse.
Ah, there. I knew it was somewhere here.
Yes.
I thought it was up there at first. Okay, it's here. So I press that.
Start window. Cortana window. Search box edit blank.
So it's saying the search bar is basically blank now. So what program do you want to open?
Note. So then I'd go.
O. D. Notepad. Desktop app 1 of 3.
So it basically says it's found an app called Notepad.
That'll do.
Unknown. Untitled Notepad. Text editor edit multi-line blank. I. T. T. E. D.
Notepad.
O. T. E. B. A. D.
Titled Notepad.
You did not write title Notepad. No, I can't even
Oh,
speak
but
that.
I'm looking at the key.
Now, I'm going to get it to read to you what you just typed. Press the up key.
Didn't notepad.
What?
Didn't notepad.
That's awful.
Uncover your blindfold and just look at what you typed.
No, get rid of it. Delete.
Laughing. Being blind, first of all, even though you know how a computer works,
Yes.
you still had trouble using it.
Yes.
Blind.
Yes.
Even though you've used the keyboard, you've used that. You've used the desktop. You didn't even know to open the start menu. And usually you'd think, oh, I'll go straight to the
I
start
know.
menu.
Normally I would, but being blind, it just makes
Throws you off.
even my brain
Now-
blind, and I just don't remember things, and it does throw me off because
Yeah.
when I'm looking at a start menu, it prompts me and then I remember what to do. But when I'm not even seeing the desktop and not even seeing the start menu, I'm not prompted for anything, so I then forget
Exactly.
everything.
Exactly. Now, imagine trying to learn how to use a computer, being born blind and never seeing the screen once in your life. You wouldn't even have an understanding of
What it looks
where
like.
to go or
No,
what it
no,
looks
you
like. So
wouldn't.
that would be extremely hard. Now,
The thing about blind people is that even though they don't have the sense of being able to see, their other senses are so much more enhanced, and they're actually better at the other senses than even people that aren't blind, which is
Okay.
pretty amazing.
yeah, exactly. So they would probably have a very different understanding of what using a computer is like and
Yeah.
what it would look like, because technically they don't technically know what it would look like. So they probably may not, if they've had a bit of experience, have been thrown off as much as you were just then, because although they can't see the computer or kind of understand what it would look like, they, after a while, would get used to how to use it being blind. I want you to go write another line now, so below that line, so you can just work with a bit more text at once,
Yep.
because they do often work with a bunch of text. Some blind people write books with a computer. I understand that would be quite hard, and it has to read it back to them as they do
I
stuff,
bet
so-
you, though, the blind people pretty much have the keyboard already in their mind and they know exactly what they're doing.
So go down a line now. Okay, so now just tightening us on another line.
O. S. F. I. Space. F. U.
that didn't sound good.
That did not sound good.
N.
That's better.
Okay, how would you kind of play back your first line in the document? You've gone down a line.
OSFirstTimer is fun.
What did it say?
Titled Notepad. OSFirstTimer is fun.
Asked
First time.
That's awful.
Okay, we've actually got multiple insults now already.
That's awful.
Ask first timer and F you
Gosh,
basically.
this program is very rude.
It's
No
not-
wonder it's free.
It's not trying to be rude, it's accidentally
Well,
being
calling us ass is pretty rude as far as I'm
rude.
concerned.
Okay, well, what you're going to now try and do is save this document.
Titled Note. Titled Notepad.
I want to go up to the little thing that saves it. Control S.
Save as dialog. File name. Combo box collapsed. Edit Alt plus N. Selected star.txt.
What does that mean?
In other words, what do you think that meant? I'm
It's
trying
saying it's saving a document and
Yeah.
it's titling it, it's naming the document titled or something.
No, it hasn't chosen titled. It's chosen a different name, but it's all selected, so you can give it a name now.
A. M. E.
Okay, good. Enter.
Now, where did you...
Name.txt notepad. Text editor edit multi-line. Titled Notepad.
So now you're back into the normal notepad screen, as you're getting used to this, you're kind of feeling where you are now, when it's saying,
Still,
how do you close this?
I don't know. I need to do the little X button, but where is the X button?
Desktop.
It just said desktop.
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 Where is the thing?
Desktop. Start.
Oh.
Desktop.
It's just desktop. There's no notepad.
Well, there's a lot of desktop on the screen. Now, Notepad is there, but since it's already the selected program, it's not telling you that when you're putting your mouse over Notepad. Remember, mice aren't very helpful to blind people. So, when you close a program, what button do you usually press?
The little X button on the end, but I can't see any little X button.
Okay.
And I was trying to
with
find it
desktop.
with this, but that's useless.
Because the mouse...
And I can't even go the arrow keys because all it does is says the title again. There should be a special keyboard for blind people.
There are.
Whereby there's an X, there's a minimize, and there's another button so that when they're in a program and they want to close it, they press the X, it closes that program.
To be honest, I don't know if that exists. However,
but it's a good idea. It should exist.
However, if you do remember, pressing Alt F4 is a way that you can close.
Alt F4.
Yep. Can I just say, this is one of the most frustrating episodes to try and record, because remember
This is one of the most frustrating episodes to actually be in too.
Can I just say, remember when we first started OSFirstTimer? It's Windows 8 and you didn't know what to do?
Yes.
There you
This is the same thing,
This
really.
is worse than that, because this is like use a voice operating system. You know what I mean? It's quite challenging. Just because this is so difficult, I'm not going to get you to try and go and find that file.
Somewhere on the desktop.
It never saved to the desktop. Now, that's
No, but
another
it's
thing.
saved somewhere on the computer.
Yeah. Now, imagine if you were a blind person and you had to find that file that you had saved. Yet another difficulty.
No, I would just do voice recognition, find last file.
Okay. Well, it was saved into the documents folder. Now, anyway, next program, you're going to try and open up Calculator and do 18 plus 604.
Okay, well, I'll go down to the start. I'll just do calc.
C.A. Calculator. Trusted Microsoft Store app 1 of 3. Calculator. Calculator window. Display is 0.
Got it.
Okay.
It's open the calculator. It's displaying 0.
Okay. Notice you did that without me.
Yeah, I did.
You kind of...
I'm getting used to it, yep.
Yeah, it's a good voice guide, in other words. Usually,
As long as he doesn't tell me to F you, I'm fine.
blind people typically have it set a lot faster than that. I've set it down a lot lower than default settings.
What do you want me to calculate?
18 plus 604.
18
1 8. Display is 18.
plus
6. Display 0. Display is 4. Display is 6. Display is 622.
622.
There you go. You've got the hardest task coming up. Can I just say, with Blindfolded, I could not do it. So if you can do this will be amazing. Otherwise,
4.
there we go.
Desktop list. NVDA 42 and 42.
So you're now seeing, you know how...
I'm not seeing anything except the keyboard.
I once knew a blind person and they told me that I tried to say, do you see what I say? And they say, I don't see anything. And then I felt really bad and I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. And then they said to me, it's okay. I get it. I use that joke all the time. So never say you see to a blind person or, you know, do you see what I mean? No.
Well, I did a blind joke to a person that wasn't blind and they pretended to be blind. Remember when we were getting blinds put up in our unit? A guy came to the foyer, was about to buzz the
To
unit,
install the blinds on the windows.
Yeah.
Blinds on the
and
windows.
I come running to him because I wasn't in the unit. We'd just come home and I came running and I said, oh, excuse me, are you the blind man? And then he closes his eyes and starts doing this. So no, anyway.
This is the hard task now. Can you change the desktop background?
It's right click.
Context menu.
It just said context menu. Now, if you're a blind person, you'd understand that that's when you right-click something and it's got a bunch of options, like view,
Yeah.
sort by that, it comes up with the context menu.
Okay.
View submenu V. Sort by submenu O. Refresh E.
Well, it's got to be here somewhere.
Display settings D. Personalize R.
I do want to personalise something, so I'll just press enter.
Settings. Background settings window. Activate Windows Now link.
Oh yeah, this will be a bit hard. Whether or not you could see now or you could not see, you would not be able to use this. I've just taken you out of the virtual machine because inside the virtual machine I don't have Windows activated. So you're on now my real computer, my real Windows 10, and I've just opened that same thing you opened. So you're in pretty much the exact same position now.
Yep.
A great thing to be able to press is the tab key.
Background combo box picture collapsed.
because that allows you to move through all the controls, basically. This is very, very difficult, because how do you choose a picture? I guess a blind person wouldn't set a desktop background, but how are you going to choose a picture when you can't see them?
Doesn't he describe the pictures?
If a computer could describe what it's seeing, that would be pretty good deep learning.
I'll just randomly select a picture.
But you don't know if you're actually selecting a picture, because you're on a background selection screen now, but where are the pictures? You've got to press tab maybe and see if you can find if it's going to go onto the pictures.
List Windows Spotlight image not selected 1 of 5.
So
it's got 5.
There's 5 images. Okay.
Windows Spotlight image not selected 2 of 5.
2 of 5.
Windows Spotlight image not selected 3 of 5.
I'll just select 3 of 5.
Selected.
You successfully changed the image, but you technically did get a lot of help from me just then.
Yeah, I did.
Because I kind of put it there.
Is it a good image? Would I like it? Out of the 5 images, would it have been the one I would have chosen?
It probably would have been the one you definitely would not have chosen.
Really?
It's just the default Windows 10 background.
Oh.
The default one it comes with.
Oh,
anyway.
It's appropriate then.
Okay, you're back on the desktop now. Can you now turn off the computer?
Actually, I'm going to go to start.
Start window. Cortana window. Search box edit blank. U-F-E-R. Turn off computer. See web results 1 of 1.
See web results.
I don't want web results. I want turn off computer.
Microsoft Edge. Bing.com Microsoft Edge. Microsoft Edge window. About : blank invalid entry.
Go back.
Start window.
Alarm and clock.
C grouping.
C looping.
C grouping, so it's all the programs that begin with C now.
Calculator. Calendar. Candy Crush Soda Saga.
Candy Crush Soda Saga. Now what is that?
Some game that comes with
Connect.
Windows 10.
Imagine me playing that game blindfolded.
You wouldn't be able to.
F grouping.
F looping now.
Now let me give you a
Get
clue.
Office.
You're not going to find the turn off computer in this list of programs.
Reach this page document.
Some sort of an error, because he sounds like he doesn't even know what he's talking
Well,
about.
actually, you're quite right. Are you feeling frustrated?
I'm feeling very frustrated. I just want to turn off the computer there now.
Pressing tab a few times
Start list. Toggle start navigation.
might potentially help. Try pressing up and down now.
Hide labels.
No.
All apps list. Pinned tiles. Cortana window. Microphone but start all pin. All apps list.
I'm going to see if I can actually do it.
Blank pin.
I can't do it. I can't even do it seeing. Okay.
I've even forgotten how we normally do it, because looking at this and not seeing the computer in front of me, I just completely throws me.
How did you feel being a
Why
blind
didn't
person?
it, when I was on there, why not? See, up.
No, it doesn't go
Doesn't
up.
take you.
It doesn't go
Well,
up
it
based
should
on
go
that.
up. I've pressed up.
It only goes up based on where you are, so like up, down. On this,
Yeah.
did you kind of feel like you knew what was going on the screen and stuff, or were
No.
you completely blind?
I felt like I was completely blind, because by not seeing the screen in front of me, it's almost like I even forgot what was there, and what I didn't even know was there, where it even was.
Exactly.
So it just throws you.
Almost finished the video. Now,
I'll tell you what.
Hell, we have almost finished.
Hell, we have finished the video.
I was just going to let you have a little look at the voices. In here, preferences, voice settings. You're actually able to change the speed of how fast the person talks. So usually,
What's the default? I want to hear the default.
the default, from memory, the default was somewhere around there. I can't remember exactly, but like I find it kind of hard listening.
Math input panel. NVDA. Start. Start with search box.
You see, I found that quite fast myself.
Yeah, it is fast.
You know, and
Especially when your other senses are not as well developed as a blind person's other senses are well developed.
exactly.
You wouldn't be able to do.
Exactly.
Okay, how about I do my
English
favourite
American.
accent, the South African accent.
It's
That
not
is
there.
actually my favourite.
I don't think it's. I've looked for that accent.
As far as I'm concerned, the worst accent is the Australian accent, because it sounds so terrible.
No, there is no South Africa.
There should be a South African accent, because that's the accent I actually like.
You know what? You could probably find somewhere. And
Well, the other accent that I don't mind, because I think it sounds very dainty, is the French accent.
We have finished the video.
we have finished the video.
Let's have fun with this.
There are other voices. You can also boost the rate.
Variant. What What's period?
Different people. Mr. Serious?
Alexa, can we have finished the video?
Don't like him.
That Lee.
Lee.
Voice settings. Can we have finished the video? Voice settings.
He sounds a bit very robotic.
Jackie.
Voice setting. Can we have desktop setting? Can we have finished the video?
Jackie? It sounds like a Jack more instead of Jackie. No, maybe Jackie decided to change things a bit.
Voice.
Automatically on that voice, can we have finished the video? And can we have closed the voice.
It sounded like hell. We have lost the voice.
Linda.
Can we have finished the video? Can we have finished the video?
Anxious Andy.
Can we have finished the video?
I like that one.
Just sounds like a robot from Doctor Who or something. Let's try the
He doesn't
whispering.
sound very anxious.
Whisper.
Can we have finished the video?
Gosh. If I was asleep at night and I heard that, I think I'd be absolutely terrified.
Let's imagine you're asleep at night. What? I think it needs to be in English. Or really slowly. Imagine slow that at night time.
Oh, that would be really frightening. You can actually scare people with this. You could use this, generate some voices, and play it at night when people are sleeping in their beds.
Are you awake? I can see you. I am watching you. Always watching. You can't run.
Can we play this tonight to your father?
I can see you. I am watching you. Always watching. You
Sounds like she needs a cough lolly.
No, it sounds like she's literally from a horror movie.
Oh, Chinese. I want to hear Chinese.
I am watching you. Always watching. You can't
Oh, geek. I want to hear it
It's
again.
not a geek, it's Greek. Greek, not geek.
awake.
Yeah, let's try and make it sound like a geek with a funny voice, a robot voice.
Always watching. You can't run.
If I don't feel you,
It said, where are you? I want to feel you. Listen.
if I don't feel you, it's I get you.
It actually sounded like I want to feed you, as far as I was concerned, not fuel you.
Okay, well, before anyone starts feeling and feeding, let's shut this down and end the video. As you can see, it can be very, very challenging to be a blind person, but at the end we've seen it can also be very creepy. So let's... Can we turn that whispering off? Can I just say, who in their right mind would choose a whisper?
Or maybe when they don't want to bother other people.
I'm very bothered. I'm very disturbed. If they're doing that not to disturb people, I'm even more disturbed. If I was in another room and I heard in this room, I'd be terrified. Okay, I'm more disturbed than I would with just a normal voice. Okay.
Okay.
Now there we go. We've finished. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we will see you.
Next time.
I took ages to say next time. I thought you knew our words.
Say it.
I thought you knew it by
I
now.
didn't know you were trying to I just thought you were about to cough or something.
No.
What,
Okay.
you forgot what you were going to say.
Okay. Well, we'll see you next time.
Bye. That's my usual line. Bye.
Okay. Bye.